Hey guys, this past month of June, I got paid $800 in dividends from Robinhood and WeBull, and I used that to come to one of the coolest places on earth. I want to show you. Check it out.
So this is how we end up, shades of blue and gray. I feel just like an empty bottle, my dreams are on delay. I just wanna climb on top of a hill and throw it all away, away. Take me far away before my mind spins off and I am all derailed.
Wow. That hair is out of control. Hey guys, Andre here, and welcome back. Since I'm a finance channel, I figure let's talk about money and how specifically money in my Robinhood and my WeBull accounts have passively paid me for the month of June enough to go on a 4-day vacation to Big Sur and Sequoia Forest, where I went with my girlfriend Corey, and we got to enjoy and have a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video. I'm gonna pull back the curtain on all my finances and explain to you exactly what the journey took to get to this point. So hopefully watching this video is as soul fulfilling to watch as it was to make. Enjoy, guys. Imagine finding a stock like Google before it became the giant that it was today and buying it when it was worth just pennies on the dollar. You would be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. You would be a multi-millionaire. But the odds of finding a giant like Google before it becomes Google are astronomically low. So low, in fact, it kind of reminds me of these sequoia trees around me. Let me show you. This is a pine cone from one of the sequoias nearby. I really thought that I could take one of these back to Vegas with me and just plant it in my backyard and hopefully grow myself a sequoia. And then I read that it takes about 500 years for them to fully mature to size to where they grow from about this tall to a couple hundred feet. 500 years. I won't be around to enjoy them. But then I read that the odds of the seeds inside of this pine cone germinating with the earth are actually 1 in a billion. And that's assuming that the conditions are right, with just the right temperature, the right moisture, that other trees are not competing with this. And it kind of made me think of comparing it to trying to find the next Google. It might be 1 in a billion if you found that penny stock and invested so much money to make you a millionaire. So instead, the strategy that I took to get paid this month wasn't trying to find my sequoia tree. Instead, shouldn't have done that. Instead, I'm planting lots of little trees that are gonna bear fruit. And that's exactly what I did. So I have 100 companies that are, think of it like small to mid-sized trees, and they're growing every single month, and every single year they're guaranteed to grow bigger and bigger and give me more and more fruits, from which eventually I can enjoy the rest of my life with. So without further ado, let me show you which companies paid me this month. And by the way, I am using Robinhood and WeBull for my investments, but yeah, let me show you right now what I got paid. And we are in the studio now because who would have thunk it? They don't have service in the forest. And now I'm gonna show you all the trees that I've planted, which are all the stocks that I've bought that grow these little fruits that allow me to reinvest, build more trees, and of course, eat some of that fruit or travel and pay for my vacation. But first, let's open up Robinhood, and I'm gonna go to the bottom right-hand corner and select the little icon, go to history, and all right, first stock that paid me is Aflac. You guys remember that stupid duck? Yeah, I don't have anything witty to say about it other than I can tell you a duck joke. So a duck walks into a supermarket and the duck says, "Got any grapes?" And the guy's like, "No, we don't sell any grapes. Go away, duck." So the duck goes away. Comes back the next day and he's like, "Got any grapes?" And the guy's like, "No, we don't have any grapes. We don't sell any grapes. We're not planning on selling any grapes. Go away." And the duck comes back the next day. And he's like, "Got any grapes?" The guy's like, "Dude, you keep asking me the same thing over and over, and we don't sell any grapes. If you ask me that question one more time, I'm gonna nail your webbed little feet to the floor. Go away." So the duck leaves. He comes back the next day, and he's like, "Got any nails?" Guy's like, "No, we don't sell any nails." "Got any grapes?" Stupid kid's joke. Get it? Because he can't nail his little webbed feet. Anyway, that was way too much time spent on a stupid duck joke. for a stock that paid me only $18.90 this month. Moving on. Next one is GWW, and they paid me $7.20 based on 5 shares. Also, for those asking, Andre, how come each of your shares are so cheap? They're $1.44. No, that's just the amount of dividends that I receive per share. Since I have 5 shares, we multiply that by $1.44, and that's how we get to the $7.20 that I got paid this month. I get asked that question kind of quite a bit on my channel, but guys, there is no such thing as a stupid question. You can ask me anything and I will try to answer, because I try to comment on every comment you guys leave on my channel. Anyway, so let's move on. The next one is WFC, or Wells Fargo, which paid me 45 cents per share, and I own 30 shares for a total of $13.50. Not bad. Then we have HBI, or Hanes Brands. I got paid $3.50. Just kidding, it's $3 for 20 shares, or 15 cents per share. Not bad. Next one, we have ENB, or Enbridge. It's a company you guys have probably never heard of, and they paid me $16.29. And next up, we have UL, or Unilever, which is another company that you guys have probably never heard of, and they paid me $45.91 this month, which is pretty significant, or 100 shares at roughly 46 cents per share. Now, here's the thing about the stocks and the companies that I like to buy. Quick note, I like to buy companies that have a wide moat. Not goat, but moat. A moat, by definition, is something that surrounds a castle. Like if you think of, I don't know, Game of Thrones, right? So there's a castle, and around it, there's usually like a deep ditch where there's either water or spikes sticking out of it, where you can drown your enemies because there's a river there, or you can set it on fire, or you can skewer people. This is getting way too graphic for a finance channel, but you get the idea. It protects the castle. Now, in economics, when you buy companies, there's a phrase or a term called a company having a wide moat. What that means is it's a company's ability to protect its profits and its bottom line from its competitors in the industry. So for example, Unilever, like the company I just mentioned, they have a very wide moat. And I'll tell you why, because I wrote down all the brands and the companies and all the different sectors they operate in. So check it out. They own brands like Axe and Lynx, Blue Band, Dove, which you guys have probably heard of, Beazle and Flora. They have things like Heart Brand ice cream, Hellmann's, Nor, Lipton, like the tea. They also have Lux, Omo, Rexona, and Sunsilk. Now, some of those brands you guys have probably never heard of. I know I haven't really heard of them, but that's because they operate in regions such as Asia, Africa, Central and Eastern Europe, the Americas, and Western Europe. So no doubt in those regions, some of the brands I just mentioned have they're very popular. And so because of that, you can say that this company has a very wide moat, because where competition is concerned, they have a wide variety of products and they operate in different regions. So that kind of shelters them and protects them. That's their moat. And that's going to become important as I go down this list. And I'll show you more companies that have what's called a wide moat. That's something that I really pay attention to when I buy stocks. So pro tip, let's move on. So the next thing I got paid is from SO, or Southern. They paid me $24.80. Next up is DFS, or Discover Financial Services. Yes, like the credit card Discover, which is great because for once, credit card companies usually take our money, but in this case, Discover is paying me. How cool is that? It's only $3.60, but I feel proud of myself. And then we have a heavy hitter, Pfizer, which is considered to be by many investors a cornerstone stock because it's a company that's been around forever and they've been increasing their dividend for a really long time. And guys, they've been around since 1849. Like imagine how many world wars and economic collapses they have seen, and they've stuck around and have continued to pay their shareholders out money, which goes to reinforce the idea that investing in something like the stock market is a good idea because you can bet the world is going to get bigger and good companies are going to continue to grow and pay their shareholders money. So that's why Pfizer is considered by many to be a really big cornerstone of an investment portfolio. So pro tip. Next up, we have Amgen that paid me $14.50 for 10 shares. Also, we have UTX, or United Technologies. Now, these guys own Otis, the elevator brand, which usually resides in like super high-end buildings. When I used to live in the $1.5 million condo at the high-rise in Las Vegas when I was like 20, they had Otis elevators. And I remember that elevator took me from like the ground level to the 37th floor in like 10 seconds or something ridiculous, and my ears would pop. So they own that. They also own these other brands. So check it out. They also own Carrier, Pratt & Whitney, and Collins Aerospace Systems, which operates in the airlines and the military sector. And you can bet those are fat government contracts that they're operating with. So you can also consider this company to be something of a wide moat because they have their tentacles, if you will, in lots of different regions. And from them, I got paid $7.35. So anyway, moving on, we have IBM, which is self-explanatory, paid me $8.10. Then we have Target, or TGT, paid me $44.80, which is really big. That's great. And next up, we have NSC, or Norfolk Southern, which is a railroad. So like in the game of Monopoly, and I've said this before, you want to own that square. You guys want to invest in something safe like railroads. I own a few railroads myself, but having said that, they paid me $43.86. That's pretty significant. So EMR, or Emerson, paid me $44.59, which is really big. And next up, XOM, or ExxonMobil, paid me $13.92. So speaking of oil, another oil company, CVX, or Chevron, paid me $32.13. And next up, we have Johnson & Johnson, or J&J, which is, talk about a wide moat company. This is another cornerstone company of a diversified dividend portfolio, and that's because they own so many brands. And now you might be asking yourself, well, Andre, if everything is perfect about this company, it's got a wide moat, it's got great growth, it's a really good dividend, like why don't you put most of your money into that company then? Well, because even though it's a great company, well, great companies get involved in sketchy lawsuits sometimes. And even though it's far from over for that company, still, let's say I'm living my perfect imaginary life and I'm somewhere on the beach sipping gin and juice. Don't know why, because I don't drink, but in this scenario, I guess I do. And let's say I still have bills to pay. Well, guess what? That month, I'm not gonna get paid because of whatever lawsuit or whatever happens. No company is infallible, and that's why you shouldn't own more than 5% of any given company. So those numbers are all relative depending on how big you want your portfolio to be once you actually retire. So moving on, IP paid me $2. And O, which is a REIT, a real estate investment trust, paid me $10.62. We also have ODP, which paid me my lowest dividend ever of a nickel. So what's a concert that costs 45 cents? 50 Cent, featuring Nickelback. Yay for recycled jokes. And Cullen/Frost CFR paid me $7.81, and Polaris, or Pi, paid me $3.14. Just kidding, I'm an idiot. They paid me $12.20. And then Duck, DUK, or Duke Energy, paid me $8.35. And then Lin, or Lind, paid $8.75. And then Lib paid $2.10. Stag paid $5.96. VFC, or Vans, which is a strong growth over the last 5 years, paid me $25.50 from 50 shares. Man, I'm getting tired of reading these. So many paychecks coming my way. But you know what they say, one paycheck a day keeps the unwanted job away. That was creepy. And then D, coming through with that big dividend energy, paid me $9.18. That should be a meme. I should print a shirt that says big dividend energy. All right. So BP, or British Petroleum, paid me $42.70, and FLO, or Flow, Flowers Foods, paid $39.90. Now, at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, what are these companies that Andre invests in? I've never heard of any of these. Well, the thing is I like to buy these blue chip stocks, which are these huge conglomerate giants that own brands that you and I are more familiar with. But the parent companies that own these brands, they're not for sale on the shelf, so we don't really pay attention much to them. And it takes a nerd community like you and I to find these companies and track them down and buy them at cheap valuations so that they can pay us while we sleep. You know what I mean? Damn, my contacts are drying up. And then RDSB, or Shell, which I avoid like the plague when I travel. Their gas is always the most expensive gas station, so I don't actually use them, which is hilarious because I actually own quite a bit of shares of Shell, and they pay very handsomely of $61.10. And then Eat paid me $3.80. Another company, you're like, what is Eat? Well, it's Brinker International, and they own Chili's and Maggiano's Italy, restaurants where they franchise this stuff out. So again, kind of like, what is this Eat Brinker International? Well, they own brands that you might have gone to eat at. So that's what I'm talking about, like these big giant corporations that own these popular brands. So instead of adding up all of these little amounts, you guys can see there's a lot of companies that paid me. Let's reference my last video that I did, which are the 5 things you didn't know about Robinhood, and actually check. So we're going to go into the little person icon here, go into account summary, and we're gonna scroll down and I'll show you account statements. And the last one, June 30th, 2019. And we're gonna zoom in and I'll show you guys that for this month, dividends, this period is $800.27. So the actual amount was closer to $1,000.27, and that's because I got 2 raises, one from WP Carey and the other from Target. Together they equal $7. So if you guys have been watching my channel, you know by now that active income that you guys earn from your jobs is not at all the same as passive income, because passive income is worth exponentially more. And that's because to get that $7 annually into my bank account every year, I would have to have invested $200 at 3.5% in order to make that much money. And I didn't have to invest that at all because I got that organically from those dividend raises. And that's kind of inspiring to see how quickly this snowball rolls and gathers all of this money and finds more money, and that's what I want for everyone. And also, I've left a link down below for my Patreon page where you guys can go and support my work, and I'm going to be giving you a lot more of a behind the scenes curtain look at my finances, and hopefully that inspires you to get serious about yours. Enjoy the rest of this video that has absolutely nothing to do with finance. Peace out. Still not wearing pants. Guys, look at this. This is so cool.
Just
Watch. See you guys.
Huge. I cookie for Robin.
Oh, bother. Hey guys, welcome to my treehouse. What do you think of this home?
Very tall ceiling. That's like fart. It goes like that. I felt it kind of shake.
I know.
That's scary.
so this is how we end up.